Hello everybody and welcome to the WOSCT Prudential IndyCar series. We're here live at 3:49 for the running of the Bell Canada Indy Grand Prix. On the pole and earning the extra point is Ben Cannon, the 14. And somewhat my keyboard's not working. Yeah, my keyboard is working, so sorry about that. On the outside is Chris Dollerton. Starting third is Evan Gattuso, and fourth is Chris Grant. Fifth is Jake Williams, and sixth Joseph Lombard. Seventh Tony Blazer, eighth Xavier Livingston. Ninth Hayden Klein, and rounding out the top 10 is Stephen Paul III. Now without further ado, let's hear those famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the cars are rolling off the track. No one's having any problems, so we're going to start off cleanly. Here we go, folks. 15 laps at my personal all-time favorite road course. This is the best road course in NR 2003, no doubt. It has the biggest, because in this course, it has the deadliest turn of any track. That's near the gas station, and I call it the turn of death, in the gas station turn. If you don't make it through, you're going to be screwed up. And the F1 drivers had a crazy race here. We'll see if the IndyCars are going to have it even crazier. Here we go. The green flag war is out. We're underway at 3:49. Here comes the first big challenging turn, because it's a downhill turn and you have to go down and turn at the same time, and it's like a small corner, and if you miss that one, you're screwed. You spin. Here we go, we're going to the elevation change downhill. And that is a sign that, guess what, we're heading on over to the gas station turn soon. So here we come, folks, the gas station turn is coming. Here we go. Here we go, we're for the first time today, we're going to the gas station turn. Wow, he navigated through that perfectly. Never seen the leader on the very first lap navigate that course perfectly. Wow. Oh, no, I don't know if Joseph, I don't think, wow, there was more carnage though in the back. Yeah, no, someone wasn't lucky though. Cannon leads to the stripe. Caution's out already for Joseph Lombard and another driver, the 12 of Stephen Paul III. We'll get to him later. Let's get to Seth Cole first. What happened to him? Oh, it happened before they even got to the there was a wreck before they even got to the turn of death. Look at this. They were going 3 wide. Hayden Klein, Joseph Lombard, and Tony Blazer. And Klein clips the 9 of Lombard downhill. And Lombard actually goes back up and hits the 98 of Jacob Lawler. Leia Walker could not slow down. Neither could Alec Gattuso nor Pichu. John Sinadino was on his side too. Yikes. Here it is, another view from DB2. And it's obvious that Hayden Klein was the guy that spun Lombard into the turn. It's very rare to see a wreck before we even get to the turn of death. But here we saw one here, and wow, it was a big pileup. Sinadino almost flipped, as you could see here, and so did Lombard. They both got held up big time. So the penalty is going to Hayden Klein for that spin, for spinning Lombard. Now let's see what happened to Stephen Pollard III, because I saw him just magically into the pits. And I guess he didn't take the turn. Yeah, he took it too hard and spun out. And here he comes towards the pole, and once you get on that pole, you're stuck. Pollard wasn't so lucky. So, wow. And I think he was the only one who wasn't so lucky. Oh no, Mike Bob. Wow. Mike Bob also took the turn too hard. He also couldn't make it out the turn of death. There you see him spinning, and he hits the rear on the wall, and he just spins out. And there he is, parked with Pollard there. So neither of those could avoid the turn of death. And you see why? It could affect anybody. And the turn of death affects everybody. And I mean everybody. Leia's in the pits because she had damage she sustained earlier in the race. Chris Grant, the leader from the first caution, is pitting. Evan Gattuso is leader, but I would not be surprised if chooses to pit just to turn away from the green flag, because we've had that happen very lately on both series, and I don't even know why. I don't understand why they do this. And well, some drivers are pitting, but not Evan Gattuso. He's staying out. He knows that strategy is bogus. And he is going to lead us to the green again. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the 38 has retired. That is Sky Commons. And Lombard is also a lap down. So here we go, going to the green flag here at 3:49. Still a lot more left. Green is out. And whoa, how scary was that? The pace car almost didn't get out on the track and had to magically go through by himself. Wow. Thank goodness that the pace car was see-through, because if it was a real pace car, if it was a solid pace car, there would have been total chaos. Well, yeah. And our 2003 developers, well, they thought ahead, they planned ahead. And I gotta give kudos to them. That idea. But with that little abrupt start, Evan Gattuso has a comfortable lead over Zachary Lombard, but I would not call it comfortable for long, because we're heading on towards that turn of death. There you see the ones out of the pits. They're not going to be pretty much a factor in the lap cars, because they'll be affected by the turn of death anyway. So here we go. Heading to the street portion of the course, and Gattuso's going to have to face off the turn of death. Here we go. Oh, he did it too high, but Lombardi almost flips over. He actually flipped over on the turn. Yikes. We're going to go back to, we're going to have to take a second look at that. That definitely should bring out a caution. And it does. And Gattuso all by himself leads to the stripe. Wow. Never seen anybody flip over at the turn of death. It was a deadly turn, but I've never seen it that deadly. Turn it back on its driver like that. So here it is. Here's the turn of death, and Zachary Lombard was the victim. Here he comes towards the turn. What did he do wrong? And did he go into the street to the sidewalk? Yes, he did. He went to the sidewalk, turned too hard, and boom. And Seth Cole actually also got involved as well. Yikes. Here it is from the TV2 camera. Apologies for the trees blocking the view. You could see him flipping over. He almost flips towards the fountain. No, the fountain's too far. I thought he did. And then there's Seth Cole. He got loose too. Ooh, Cole got into Zach Lombard. So the Target cars are not having their greatest race ever. And neither is Lombard. And the Lombards are having miserable luck at this corner. Here it is again. Oh boy. My goodness. And were they the only victims of this? Was Pollard another victim? No, he learned his lesson. He learned his lesson from last time. Alright, this has been a wacky race as always here at 349. And Gattuso is surprisingly not pitting. I guess he's waiting until the next lap to pit. And we got word that Hayden Klein, Seth Cole, and Zach Lombard have retired. Cart Pollard, Leo Walker, Austin Ogo, Scott Commons have retired. Those were the ones that got damaged from the first wreck earlier. And Hayden Klein was the one that got damaged from the first wreck. He was the one that caused the first wreck in the first place, and I guess the damage was too much for him to handle. So we're going to get back under racing here at 349. Let's see if Gattuso pits. And, well, no he does not, and guess what? Neither does, well, no he does not, and I'm going to be surprised. Pace car missed his stall. It's going to be another abrupt start to the race. Gattuso, he made it out the turn of death the first time. He's looking to do it to the second time and all throughout this entire race. Green is out, and Gattuso got a bad start, and that allows Chris Doherty to get the lead. Gattuso did not get the start he wanted this time, and they learned their lesson. And now the 67 is the leader. Wow, what a turn of events. What a shocking turn of events. And also Jake Williams has moved to second. But they're going to have to face the turn of death. They're going to have to look it straight in the eye on this lap. And here we go, heading on towards the chicane. And here comes to the elevation change downhill, which means next turn is going to be the street portion. And in the street portion, the turn of death. Here we go to the street portion of the course. And now it's going to be Jake Williams, Chris Dollerton, and Evan Gattuso versus the turn of death. Will there be any survivors? Oh, Dollerton survived, not Williams, though. Jake Williams is on the pavement. He's trying to get back up to the track, and he's not going to try to do so, and he just gets it in back on the track. That was close. See a Blazer, and Blazer does not make it through the turn, and he gets a piece. Oh boy. How about these leaders? A great job getting through the turn. And here's Chris Dollerton and Evan Gattuso. Gattuso wants the lead back. Here comes the hill, and they passed the hill, and I think the 67 had the advantage. But Gattuso is not giving up yet. He's trying for more. After that horrific start on the last caution, he's looking to get some redemption here. He might have to wait until after they get past the turn of death, or if Ben Cannon screws up, and whichever comes first, if there is a possibility. Cannon is battling him for second and third. And now the 67, he made it through it the first time perfectly. Actually perfect, very perfectly. We'll see if he does it the second time. Here we go. We're going to the street portion again. And this is the turn of death part 2. And no, he does not make it through. He gets spun, and neither does Gattuso and Chris Grant. 3 drivers didn't make it through the turn of death. Wow, 3 drivers. Ben Cannon, your leader, he'll be leading us to the caution flag. What an unusual turn of events once again. The tables have turned again. Let's see the 67. And neither the 68, neither of them were lucky enough to make it through the turn of death. There were 3 victims of the turn of death. Chris Dollarton, Evan Gattuso, and Chris Grant. They all hit the pavement there, and that is not a good way to go through. Ben Cannon made it through. And there's Gattuso, and there is Chris Grant. They all spin out. But Gattuso made it up to full speed. He actually went through the gas station turn. Does he go back up course? He does go back up course. So he avoids an even bigger damage. Oh, and Chris Grant is also out of course. Does he avoid it? Yes, he does. So a sigh of relief there. We don't have another commotion down the almost near pit road, at the entrance of pit road, because there were a lot of bad wrecks happening at the end of at the start of pit road, on the entrance of pit road, in fact. And they were not really so lucky. There were drivers that weren't so lucky to get through. John Sinadino has retired, and he, I think, he had damage from the first caution flag, and so he didn't make it out alive. Well, he's still alive. Abby Sachs is 29th. He has retired as well. He suffered damage also from the first wreck. And Stephen Powell III, who was the second caution victim, has retired as well, so he couldn't take any more damage. Wow, they're retiring like bricks. They're going down like bricks. Lombard is a lap down, but there's less than 10 to go, so he's not going to be a factor in the race. And Ben Cannon learned his lesson. He's not going down to pit road just before the green flag, or even the white flag for any matter. 5 to go here at 3:49. This might be the point where the caution ends the race, so they got to be careful about that. Green flag is out. Last time Ben Cannon was just a turn away from winning at the Kick-Assia Grand Prix in Nevada until his tire gave in and was forced to pit down below because his tire wasn't going to last any longer, even at their one final corner, and Ryan Lee took the win from him on that track. He's looking for redemption this year. But this is a course where heartbreak can happen in an instant, especially at the turn of death. The leaders have not been much affected, except for the previous caution, where three of the 5 drivers in the top 5 crashed out because of the turn of death. We'll see if we have any more cleaner results. There you see Ben Cannon, your leader, and then Jake Williams second, and the 77 of Bill Flickinger is third. Here we go, turn of death. Here we go, Ben Cannon, can he make it out? And more heartbreak will continue for Ben Cannon. He flips over, and more drivers in with Rod Houston and one other driver. And heartbreak is going to continue for Ben Cannon. The caution is out. Who is the leader? And I think it's Jake Williams with 4 to go. He might have 2 or 1 more lap. We'll see. But you probably knew, I knew this was going to happen someday, somewhere. Chris Grant could not avoid the turn of death. And he brought along some of his friends, and no wait, that was Ben Cannon couldn't make it through the turn of death. I apologize. Ben Cannon could not make it through the turn of death. Here he is spinning in the turn of death, getting hit, and then he flips over at one point. Then he brought along some of his friends, Rod Houston and one other driver. That was Eli Sachs. Ooh, Eli Sachs went through the gas station. Ooh, boy. Well, tough break for those drivers, and Ben Cannon's going to have to wait again for his victory, for his shining moment to come. Oh, and Jake Ragow didn't make it through either. He did not make it through either. He's had a rough day, and this just makes it even worse. Here we go. We don't know how many laps are going to be lapped. Will there be 1, 2, or maybe even 3? And Ben Cannon is gone. He's done for the race with a fuel leak. The wreck actually took a toll on his car more than we thought. And he's out of the race. Oh, he's getting, well, too bad for him. Yikes. Rod Houston is 26. He's retired. And Jake Ragow is 27. He retired as well. And we have the pace car lights still on, which means we're not getting back at... Wait. And the pace car lights are out. Pace car lights are out. And Williams and Flickinger, this is the first time we've seen this today. Leaders pitting just one turn away from the green flag. Big mistake for Jake Williams and Bill Flickinger. And all of a sudden, Rob Bob is your leader. With 2 laps to go. This could be the final stretch here, folks, at 3:49. Everything's on the line. Points, top 10 points on the line. Here we go. Pace car will be out green again with 2 to go. Oh boy, 3 wide possibility for second. And the advantage goes to Ryan McLemore, and he almost clears them. Well, about to clear them for the first turn. He does clear him. No, the 18 does. No. 18 has actually gotten a boost, and he's up to second. Wow. And look at this. The 15's rear wing is actually on the tire, and he's still running in the top 5. But he's losing a ton of spots, and that damage might add up. Is taking a toll on his position. We'll see if he makes it out a lot. We'll see if he makes it out with points. It's going to be pretty close here with 2 to go. Rob Bob, your leader. Here they go to the turn of death. And the caution's already out, so the race is over. So this is the final moment with the turn of death. This is it. This is all the marbles. This is for all the marbles. And here's the wasn't so lucky, spins out on the turn of death, and so does Chris Grant. And guess what? Samuel Logo out of nowhere. And he's not pitting. I don't know who the leader is. I think it was Samuel. I don't know. I think Samuel Logo might have won this race. Let's see the line. Let's see if Ogo is the leader. And he is the leader. I don't believe it. Can you believe this? He was 7th on the last... He was 7th before, and now he comes back as the leader. Can you believe it? What a comeback for Samuel Ogo. His teammate was down, Rob Bob, but he helped up another teammate, helped up a good friend of his, and he probably for the lead, but I don't know how Samuel Ogo, of all people who was running 4th, got up to 1st. Here's Rob Bob, the leader, and he wrecks out on the gas station turn right here. Alex Ragow wrecked as well, and Ryan McLemore also was taken out. Rob Bob was stuck on the pole, on that pole. And Samuel Ogo, what a comeback for him. On the restart, he was 7th. Comes back here again. Wow. And what happened now? And oh, wait a minute. We found out what caused the caution in the first place. A rare wreck in the S-curves. And Tanker and Flickinger get together, and they hit each other into the wall, and Flickinger goes flying. We have seen a lot of drivers flying here tonight. Tanker's stuck on the road, and Flickinger is left to the dust. Yikes. And Ryan Lee was on the pits first time. But what a comeback for the Lotus machine of Samuel Ogo. And now if he can hold on and not pit, he might win. Let's see if he doesn't. There they say, waving to the gas station turn. And they say goodbye to it. And Samuel Ogo chooses not to pit. Well, one driver did. And that's going to be a costly mistake for him because he just lost points on that one. Yeah, so we'll check back on him later, but first, Samuel Ogo overcoming a huge damage on his rear wing is going to win it here at 349 in a stunning comeback fashion. Here he comes off the final turn. Samuel Ogo wins here at 349. Pace car just came out for him to celebrate. What a comeback by Samuel Ogo. Last restart he was 7th and he comes back to win in an incredible wacky race. Let's see if the car back there meant something, if it meant points. That was Jacob Cook. He was running 9th. He was running 9th and he had to pit and he gives up points. He literally gave up, I don't know if he did give up points. We'll have to look at the official results. Oh my goodness, he was ruled 10th. He was ruled 10th. He retired in 10th, barely enough to get points. So despite retiring, he is credited for 10th and still will get a point for participation. Wow. Samuel Ogo is your winner. Evan Gattuso, Eric Burton, Michael White, and Tony Blazer your top 5. Ryan McLemore, Alex Ragow, Jake Williams, Bill Flickinger, and Jacob Cook your top 10. And Pichu was the odd man out. Wow. If Jacob Cook had a higher pit stall and he retired there, Pichu would have been the one getting points. But by default there, by some weird rule, he is shut out of points. Wow, so heartbreak for Pichu. He's shut out for points on a technicality. Yeah, yikes. So, congratulations to the team of Samuel Ogo on the win. What a finish. And they're running slowly for some reason. Well, we don't know, but it's been a great race here at 349. We hope you guys see you again soon, and we'll show you the point standings right now, and we'll see you later.